Hello and welcome to this tutorial of how to raid the end cities and grab all of the loot you can ever imagine to be filthy rich, especially if you're on a multiplayer server. So whether this is your first time or whether it's your 50th time to the end, there's some top tips in this video for you to make your life easier and to make the most out of any journey into the end. So stick with me in this tutorial and I'll show you some top tips. And also, if you like this content, please go and have a look at some of my other videos. There'll be a link in the end title. Look forward to seeing you back with me in my Jurassic World single player. So there's a few things that I would suggest when you're heading to the end. Firstly, you're going to need one of these places. It's a stronghold, but hopefully you know that already. I hope so anyway. And you'll need your Eyes of Ender and your portal ready to jump through. There's plenty of tutorials on how to get this. And one of the things I would do is set a bed and also your ender chest. So that if you unfortunately die in the end, you can come back here and you can grab stuff out of your end chest without having to worry about it. The other thing I would do, let's look in here. So make sure you have some of these things for yourself. So I always carry a spare ender chest in my ender chest, but also in terms of what you'll have on you. So I've got my helmet with really the main thing on there is the projectile protection, mending and unbreaking, wings, or elytra. You'll definitely need mending and unbreaking. If you don't have that, that's going to be tough. If this is your first time into the end, get a mending book, get an unbreaking 3 book and bring an anvil, and you can quickly get this onto your elytra as soon as you get it. Some trousers or pants, whatever you want to call it, legs, I don't know, with some protection, unbreaking, mending, and then some shoes. Definitely have the feather falling. Again, any additional protection, unbreaking and mending is definitely a winner. So unbreaking on all 3, mending on all 3, protection where you can, and definitely feather falling on your shoes. So the other things, a shield is always very helpful, a very good sword as best as you can get, a bow with infinity. I've got 2. I'll probably end up using this one, or well, we'll see. It's always handy to make sure you've got plenty because you will use it considerably in the end. Silk touch pickaxe, obviously for your ender chest. Don't really need much else on that, so as long as you've got the silk touch, that's pretty good. And then an axe, which you'll see will come in handy for breaking things down more than anything else. Ender pearls, if you haven't got any, easy to get once you get into the end. Firework rockets, food, I've got chicken, a water bucket, crafting table, and then I've got 3 or 4 shulker boxes. I mean, initially when you first get, or if this is your first time going into the end, you can put some of these things in your ender chest, and as soon as you get shulker boxes, you can put them into those shulker boxes. That's why we have the crafting table. You can make shulker boxes to order. So in this chest I've got a resupply of my my equipment, my armor, and that goes in there, and plenty of food. Got some carrots for us to turn into golden carrots for high saturation, but that's all you really need. A resupply of armor so that you can get back to where you died, and plenty of food. You'll get through food very quickly. I've got a shulker box full of firework rockets, and then this is my map box. So I like to map out the end. So depending on what I'm doing, I'll grab a map, take a first use of it, and then I'll enlarge it or minimize the scale, so I'll show you what we do there. And then I also have some banners to put on each end city so I can see, oh, I've raided that or I've not raided that on the map. And then lastly, I've just got an extra box full of firework rockets. So once we get through those, we'll just use that for additional storage. So that is the main thing out the way. Make sure you have the equipment before you go into the end. Nothing worse than getting there and then realizing you need other things. So we'll do that. Then we've got that. I should have put that in my my shulker box, but we can do that next time we stop. And everything else, we are good to go. So let's do it. Let's go into the end. We want to get into roughly the center of the world, or of the end. Put down the shulker box, grab 4 maps, and there's a reason we're doing 4 maps, and that is because I want to get the 4 quarters of this island. So let's have a look. So that's the first map done, so we can look. Wow, that covers it all. So let's just get the cartography table, put that in, and what we're going to do is expand out so it's getting a wider coverage. So we'll do that, oh, and then that, and then that, and then that, and then that's at scaling of 1/16, so a level 4 map. So when we look at it, right, we know we are in the bottom right, so on a compass that is southeast. So now what we have is we have northeast, northwest, southwest and southeast. So if we look at this, we will now have sort of a round view, so starting at southwest up to northwest towards the east, northeast and then southeast. So that's our 4 directions on our island here. So I think what I would like to do is to go to the northwest. So let's put that in offhand, and we're just gonna go and start to look at some of the various landscape in this direction. So I like to, oh no. So literally what I do now, if this was my first time, I'd probably just aim for the end cities, or try and find the end cities, and there we go. Although this may well be one that I've already done in the past. So the reason I grabbed these banners, and I should have got these out earlier, so we'll have that one there, and then we'll have that one there, and what we do is we just put one down, swap hands, do that, and we know we've got that one. This one's been raided, and if we're looking at the map, we're not wondering, oh, did I miss one, or what's going on there. I know instantly by looking at the map I've raided that. Let's go down. I always like to start at the entrance. Yeah, definitely not being raided by me, which means it hasn't been raided because there's no one else on here. So straight away I will swap over to the shield, and then as soon as I can start to visibly see the shulkers, I will start charging the bow, ready for when they open like that. There we go. Straight away we've got no hassle in terms of getting in, and these are pretty standard. You'll have, or I should have, 2 by the front. Sometimes if the end stone is blocking this sort of area, you'll find them in or around on the outside, but typically you'll have 1 either side of the main doorway. There'll be none here, and then up here there's 1 right there, right in the middle. Easiest way I find is to just get into one of these corners, throw an ender pearl up, there we go, and we can just get here, and there we go, we do take a hit, but it's not going to do too much. Whilst we're floating, grab a snack, get some fried chicken, and then we drop down. So this sort of spirals down, so just take it easy, and then we'll get to where it splits. So I like to do the sort of smaller areas first, so, or smaller wing should I say. So you can see as that shulker is popping open, it is sort of becomes attackable with the bow. And if you keep moving, oh, that was very badly done. Keep moving and it makes it harder. Unfortunately, he's teleported, so I think he would have gone either on the side or on the top typically. There he is. Right, so don't panic. This can be quite handy. So just sort of glide around, and then as you're starting to lose height, you can throw your ender pearl. You'll see the sort of debuff starting to wear off, and you can just throw your ender pearl. So that's that end done. Typically only 2 shulkers in there. On this world I have vanilla tweaks. He moved. That's disappointing. That will probably be a bit annoying. So I've got vanilla tweaks, which there he is. I've set it so that I get 2 shulker shells for each shulker that I kill. Right, so in this room, they're pretty standard. Sometimes they're slightly bigger, but there's one up there, there's one right in the top corner, and there's one in the opposite corner. So again, we've been hit. Oh, straight onto one of those. Right, so I'll just go in here. And normally, if you don't get hit, you can just sort of sneak in. Oh, they're very mobile today. Oh, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Wow, where are these all coming from? I saw it. There he is. Right, there we go. Fantastic. So there is one somewhere else because I can hear him. Let's just pop our heads out here. Unfortunately, sometimes they go on the bottom of the sort of buildings, which are incredibly annoying. So just poke your head out, hold down shift. No, can't see it out there, so you must be somewhere on these higher platforms. Yeah, can hear him again. So we'll just collect these shulker shells, pop through here. There we go. So already we've got the shulker shells, and with the crafting table, now we've got a chest, so there's not much in there. We'll just crack that open. What we can do is grab our crafting table, create a shulker shell, pop that down, and then I'll just load it up with any of the stuff that came out of that chest and anything else we've got on the way, and then we'll just put that in there ready for next time. Take that, and then already we've also got ourselves an additional ender chest. So if you haven't got your first set of elytra, sometimes it can be a bit more sort of challenging for the first couple of cities that you get, but once you've got it, you can use it to sort of look around, see if you can see that missing shulker. So they do like to hide under here. Normally, if you can see some of their sort of fireballs or glistening balls, you can normally track them down. But I thought I heard one, but I can't see it, so maybe that was just me imagining it. But never hurts to do a quick sort of inspection on the exterior for any missing shulkers. So the second I stopped recording, another one comes in. So I just backed up, so I think this, oh yeah, dragon head is still there. So, oh, and we've got another one over there. So this is a larger one, not the biggest I've seen. But let's jump in and I'll sort of show you some of the other things that you can take care of in different ways. So here I think we'll find the front door is blocked, so we've got a shulker shell out here, or a shulker out here. Let's see, yeah, definitely looks like that's the entrance. I can hear one somewhere. All right, maybe it's down here still. No. Okay, so probably inside on this second floor. Yes. There we go, textbook. That is how you take out that room. Easy, quickly and efficiently. No time wasted there. There we go, and we are finding more and more treasure as we go along. Ooh. Ah, not really treasure that time. That's kind of a bit disappointing. So sometimes you can see the shulkers in the top of these towers. So if you can, then you can get them, but it's not that common. But it's definitely something that does come in handy, as you just saw. I think hopefully I picked up those shulker shells. And then we're on to the next tower. So there's a few different ways of taking care of these end ships. So you can shoot the shulkers from afar, like so, and then just peer across. The sort of slightly more ballsy approach is to just ender pearl over. There we go. And then the other approach is just to elytra over, or fly over. There we go. So now it's only really the two on the outside there. We'll grab that as we're coming down and straight into, ooh, that is very cheeky. Very, very rarely does he do that, but oh, sneaky. There we go. Wasn't so bad. So I like to grab the dragon's head from in here. So if this is your first elytra, great, fantastic. So if not, you've got a spare pair now. So I'll just come out here, and then I'll get here, and then I'll just use some sort of scaffolding blocks just to come around here so I can get right up against the dragon's head, take the head, and then come back inside. So now, if this is your first elytra, get your anvil out, get your mending book and your unbreaking book, and go and fly. It's amazing. I love flying. I've done so much flying, it's unreal. I won't even walk if I don't have to, and that's for like a very small journey. The other thing I would do now is get out our ender chest. Boom, there we go. And gonna just have a sort of tidy up of our shulker boxes. So I'll grab these. There's probably, yep, no space in the inventory. I thought that might happen. Right, let's do that. So normally what I do is I'll have like three shulker boxes of kit. So I'll have the unstackable stuff in one. So that accounts for those. And then we'll have the stackable items in another. And then we'll have the sort of building end blocks in the final one. And the reason I do that is it's just easier to sort of see what's in your inventory, what's going on, at all times, rather than just sort of throwing it all in randomly. This really helps in terms of managing what you have in the long run, especially if you're going on a extremely long trip to the end. You can sort of manage your inventory so much easier, and if you're picking up chorus fruit and stuff like that, that soon fills up your inventory. And even with, you know, we've been to, well, I wouldn't even say 2 end cities, and we'd already fill up 1 shulker chest quite easily. So anytime we picked up anything else, we would be having to create another one anyway. So this way, it just makes it slightly easier in terms of your management of what you've got. And I'll show you sort of how many you can get. Another reason to sort of empty out your ender chest is so that you've got the space for all of these goodies that you're going to be getting. So let's put these away because we don't really need them. Let's just top up on food. You're constantly topping up as well. It's always a really good thing. Anytime you stop, just top up with whatever items that you require. You know, if you do need to stop for ender pearls, quite easy to make a little roof above your head too high, and you can just get ender pearls that way very quickly because there's always endermen around. So there we go, we have explored 1 quadrant of our starting island map. So we ended up raiding actually I think 8 end cities. Still got this one to do, but it was quite a big one and I was running out of time on this video, so I wanted to get it done. But we have got a staggering amount of stuff. So we've got 4 shulker boxes full of non-stackable items. I think we've got 1, 3, 5 elytras there, and then we've got a chest full of, well, not full, but what's that, 7, 8 stacks almost of shulker shells. Obviously we've got vanilla tweaks, which gives us double, but we also have a load of gold, iron, diamonds and various other things, and then a few building blocks. So that's it. That's fantastic, a good way to raid the end, and it's a good way to get loot, and this way you're checking what you're raiding. And if you look, you can see these purple dots, that's where the end cities are. So just by having the banners and leaving them, you're letting yourself know you've raided it, or there's, you know, next time we come out and maybe we go up here or this way, I can just pop via this one, raid it as a start, and then head off in other directions. So yeah, it's a great way to do it. So thank you for joining me on this little tutorial. Hope you found it helpful, and if you have any comments or any ideas, put them down below, and hopefully you'll join me in some of my other videos. Bye.